Right now it's 6, a live look outside. It's cold now, but a warm-up is on the horizon. Your First Warn weather team is on it.
And the second inauguration of Donald Trump, his big promises, and his first planned trip.
You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 6.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us for News 8 Now at 6. I'm Emily Brown.
And I'm Ken Kozarowski. We do indeed start with weather because we are in the midst of an alert day, Greg, but I'm liking the sound of a warm-up being on the way.
Yeah, definitely we do. It's going to be short-lived. We got about another 24 hours of real cold, probably maybe 12 hours of real cold, and then it does modify a little bit. So get through Tuesday, everything's going to be high and dry. That we're not going to see these type of temperatures at least in the next 7 to 8 days. But through the morning, we're going to have very cold temperatures. In fact, the temperatures will be coldest tonight. The wind may not be as strong, but the combination could create wind chills that will be 40 below in certain areas, not the entire time. So, excuse me, we're looking at then obviously wind chill factors with this. You could see freezing conditions for your skin in about 10 minutes. Overall, these are high temperatures, and these are your high temperatures for today. 8 below up to the north of Ladysmith, to a whopping warm degrees at 3 degrees in Prairie du Chien, so a heat wave down there. But this is a bigger story with the snow cover that does make a huge difference sometimes. Ladysmith 23, up to the north of that there was a 37 below. Nation's low so far this morning has been in Minnesota at 42 below, but notice how they do modify a little bit without the snow cover. It does play a big role in that. Now tonight's temperatures will get cold. Obviously where it's snow covered, 20 belows. Otherwise most of the other areas will be in the teens. Definitely the coldest temperatures potentially that we've had all year. We've had a little bit of light snow in this activity just because of the cold air, and overall that's your temperatures and wind chills this evening. It will continue to be cold. That's really the main of the game, although we might see a little bit of flurry activity, at least for the start of the evening. So later on, we'll kind of break down that warm-up and a little bit of light snow to come with it, and then we'll have some even warmer temperatures potentially on the horizon for the weekend or next week, too.
All right. Thank you, Greg. Well, La Crosse's Emergency Warming Day Center is open. That center is at the public library over on Main Street. Any community members seeking refuge from this severe cold are going to be welcome there. It's open today until 7, and then it'll also be open Tuesday from 8 a.m. until 7 p.m.
Well, the extreme cold can take a toll on farm animals. News 8 Now's Allison Fergit has a look at how one farm is keeping cows safe.
On a dairy farm, there are no days off, even when it's freezing.
Overall, we're doing everything we can to make sure our cows are warm as they can be, as healthy as they can be, and have the tools they need to take care of themselves.
Like all of us, Wisconsin's dairy cows are dealing with the extreme cold. While their higher natural body temperature makes them better equipped to deal with frigid weather, they still need a little extra help.
That's going to be feeding them a little extra feed. Dad said usually we feed about 60,000 pounds of feed a day, and we have upped an additional 10,000 onto that in order to make sure that the cows have the calorie intake they need to stay warm and continue to produce milk.
At the Service Family Farm, there are no heaters in the main barn. They're keeping it locked up tight to keep the cold out. But in conditions like this, milk production dips.
It's one of those times of year where you just hunker down, hope for the best, and we just have to brace for impact and do what we can, do what we've always done, and weather out this bad weather.
The Service Farm is organic, and they let their cows out to pasture as often as possible. Right now, Service says the cows would only be outside for an hour max. While the adult cows can better handle the temperature drops, the calves require more assistance.
I have to make sure the milk that they get in the mornings is nice and warm. It's so important that they have warm milk in the morning, especially when it's this cold out, because otherwise it takes more energy, more calories for them to digest it.
Service says cows are resilient, but their farm hands are focused on keeping them comfortable in times like this.
Cows are very, very good at taking care of themselves, and we're just here to serve them.
There are around 375 cows here at the Service Family Farm, so a lot to take care of. Reporting at the Service Family Farm, Allison Fergit, News 8 Now.
All right, thank you, Allison. And because of the cow's body heat, they can withstand temperatures below 20 degrees before feeling any stress from the cold. And a reminder, you can track weather on your block by downloading the First Warn weather app. You can find it at the App Store or on Google Play.
Police are identifying the victim in a weekend shooting death. That victim is 42-year-old Justin Betts. Police say the shooting suspect there, 28-year-old Cody Allen, is in custody. Investigators say the shooting happened on the 1800 block of George Street. Betts was found with gunshot wounds and died at the scene. The shooting reportedly stemmed from an argument.
A 19-year-old is in custody after starting a fire at the office of Congressman Glenn Grothman in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. Investigators say the man admitted to starting the fire. He reportedly was upset about the possibility of a federal TikTok ban. No one was hurt, and the man is currently jailed.
Viterbo is celebrating Martin Luther King Day today through service learning and celebration. Roughly 125 students, employees, and alumni from the college helped serve all around the La Crosse community.
Service is one of our core values of the university. We have numerous service Saturdays throughout the year where our students serve all over the community. But on Martin Luther King Day, it's really important that we get out and lead by example and serve our communities.
Viterbo students and staff have been serving 11 sites across the city. Some of the things they're doing include cleaning the Children's Museum facility to creating insulated sleeping mats for unsheltered neighbors.
The Onalaska School District is also spending the holiday volunteering around the community. In partnership with Great Rivers United Way, over 60 volunteers from the district are working with various area nonprofits. They worked on a total of 11 projects and contributed approximately 145 hours of volunteer time.
It's so meaningful to us. We're so thankful. We got a lot of things here, a lot of jobs, a lot of tasks. So to have people come in and spend their time to give back to our program is super meaningful.
And if you're looking for volunteer opportunities, you can check out Great River United Way's You Get Connected platform. We have that link on our digital platforms.
President Donald Trump takes the oath of office.
His first actions of his second term and a live look at the parade right after the break.
Whether you have a design emergency or just want to shop the best furniture showroom in the area, the January clearance sale at International Furniture is the best time to buy high-quality furniture with savings up to 70% off retail price on select floor samples. International Furniture, I-90 Exit 2, La Crosse.
Wisconsin, one of those places where families spend their winters among frozen lakes and snow-covered hills. With all the fun they're having, it's easy to take for granted how they warm up, by the fire, or simply adjusting their thermostat. But for some of us, it's not that easy. Some of us need to decide whether to heat or to eat, or to further neglect our basic survival needs. We are working families, elderly, disabled, and veterans, all struggling to pay record heating bills. These dangerous temperatures aren't just uncomfortable for us, they can be deadly. If you are struggling to decide if you can put food on the table or heat your home, please reach out for a hand up. No one deserves to suffer when we can help each other.
To everyone who's hungry for something special,
Culver's is the place for us. Hi, what can I make fresh for you today? It's nice being greeted by people who are glad to see you. And I appreciate that they use real ingredients like fresh beef and Wisconsin cheese. The frozen custard is so fresh and creamy, it tastes like it was made just for us. It's our pleasure. Just spending time with family, that's what mealtime at Culver's is all about.
from Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious!
Whether you have a design emergency or just want to shop the best furniture showroom in the area, the January clearance sale at International Furniture is the best time to buy high-quality furniture with savings up to 70% off retail price on select floor samples. International Furniture, I-90 Exit 2, La Crosse.
On this Inauguration Day, President Donald Trump officially took the oath of office at 11:01 a.m.
He's taking time to...
So help me God. Congratulations, Mr. President.
Donald J. Trump took the oath as the nation's 47th president, then laid out his vision for a second term.
The golden age of America begins right now.
President Trump detailed his priorities during a 30-minute inaugural address.
Today I will sign a series of historic executive orders. With these actions, we will begin the complete restoration of America and the revolution of common sense.
Many of Trump's some 200 executive actions undo former President Biden's policies, who departed the Capitol after the peaceful transfer of power. Trump plans to sign some actions in front of supporters packed into Washington's Capital One Arena, topping the list declaring an emergency at the southern border.
All illegal entry will immediately immediately be halted, and we will begin the process of returning millions and millions of criminal aliens back to the places from which they came.
He also talked about attacking inflation, declaring an energy emergency, and taking back the Panama Canal. And he described how he wants to be remembered when he leaves office.
My proudest legacy will be that of a peacemaker and unifier. That's what I want to be, a peacemaker and a unifier.
Do you feel like the country needs to be unified? Do you think there's still a lot of division?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there is division, but we can unify around the flag, unify around the Constitution.
Many traveled from out of state to be here for this moment.
We're huge supporters of Trump, and he's done a lot for us. And so this is the least I could do.
While the move indoors because of the extreme cold brought changes to the day, a raucous campaign atmosphere filled the arena celebrating President Trump's return. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
And again, the big focus on the start of this second term is that long list of executive orders.
News 8 Now's Grace Monk is in the newsroom with a closer look.
Ken and Emily, today President Trump signed executive orders that he says will bring America into its golden age. Several orders reflect promises made during his campaign, such as ending federal DEI programs and policies and ending taxes on tips. He also signed an order requiring all federal employees to return to work in person. Local attorney Brent Smith says some orders won't go into effect right away.
I don't think you're going to see something happen today, tomorrow, just because of this, because I think there are going to be challenges. The argument would be it exceeds the authority granted in the Constitution, or it's not constitutional as to what the president did.
Trump says he plans to pardon a lot of people. This will likely include those involved in the January 6th Capitol riot. Ken and Emily.
All right, Grace, thank you. President Trump's first trip will be to Los Angeles this Friday. He'll be taking a tour of the areas hit by those historic and deadly wildfires. Trump has in recent days clashed with California Governor Gavin Newsom over the response to the fires.
President Joe Biden today issuing a flurry of preemptive pardons. They were for several members of his family, Dr. Anthony Fauci, General Mark Milley, and Liz Cheney. Pardons were also given to members of Congress who investigated the Capitol attack. The pardons came hours before Trump was sworn in.
Pardoned a lot of people. They pardoned, before we even get to today, they pardoned, 33 murderers, absolute murderers, the worst murderers.
Last month, Biden pardoned his son Hunter Biden, going back on a promise he wouldn't.
Well, we'll have more news ahead.
But first,
we got one more day of frigid temperatures, and then we got a little bit of warm up and some light snow. You will like the forecast because the temperatures look fairly seasonable. There's even a 30 in there too. That all coming up on your First Warn Weather Update after the break.
Winter is here, and with winter weather come accidents and mishaps. Whether you're on your way to work, walking the dog, or out on the trail, accidents can happen.
At Bygolf and Roadie, we help you get the settlement you deserve to put your life back on track.
You come alive in the dead of winter and start work early on snow days, because snowed in is not an option. The Kubota Snow lineup of compact tractors, RTVs, and versatile attachments are built to move, plow, blow, and thrive in the winter. So when the snow falls, you can rise to meet it.
Right now, receive 0% APR for 60 months and up to $2,300 off BX Series tractor packages. Visit any of your local Johnson Tractor dealerships in Menominee, Baldwin, Osseo, and Arcadia.
Attention business owners. Start 2025 confidently with Your Choice Roofing, your trusted partner for commercial roofing solutions. Our expert craftsmanship and premium materials ensure a roof that stands the test of time. Don't wait. Our schedule is filling up fast. Get ahead of the rush and secure your spot now to protect your building and your bottom line. Visit yourchoiceroofing.com today to get started.
At US Cellular, you don't have to choose between a great deal on the phone you want and the phone plan that's right for you.
You can get both. 4 free phones of your choice and 4 lines for just $90.
Wow, kids, that's like us not having to choose between tickets to wrestling or that puppet musical.
We want a great phone and a great plan too, don't we, little guy?
Get both. 4 free phones of your choice plus 4 lines for $90. No trade-in needed. US Cellular, built for us.
When you're dealing with your own insurance company, you may think that they're on your side, but the truth is, they're not. They're only concerned about their bottom line. That's why you need to hire Bygoff and Rohde. We get results.
The news continues on News 8 Now. Expect more.
Now, millions across the U.S. are bracing for plummeting temperatures and winter storms.
Yeah, residents from the northern plains to the tip of Maine brace for dangerously low temperatures. And the South prepares for a winter storm expected to disrupt travel tonight into Wednesday.
Winter storm warnings stretched from Texas to Florida with heavy snow, sleet, and freezing rain.
Well, I made a rookie mistake today. I left a 6-pack of sparkling water in the car and I walked to it and I thought someone had broken into my car because there was just like ice and just it bursted all over. I haven't cleaned it up yet. It's still hard. I'm gonna have to get a vacuum, but that happened today, everyone.
Yeah, well, hey,
it was
pretty
cool,
darn cold out there.
Yeah, exactly, Greg.
Yeah, it's this whole setup really reminds, if anyone remembers 1989 with the cold that plunged all the way in Florida and Texas around Christmas time. I fact to be in Florida at that time enjoying a Florida vacation. That's similar, where they had actually $1 billion of damage in agricultural. So that's one thing to look at. But it's a very similar setup with what's going on further south. We're fortunate we're just dealing with the cold conditions. We're not dealing with any type of wintry precipitation with this. So that is one of a positive. Travel-wise, we're looking pretty good. But we got about one more day of that minus 40 below in the morning. So we're looking at, we'll skip over that. That's temperature-wise here. Wind chills will be in the 20 to 25 below for this evening for most locations. As we go throughout this, it's really once you get past midnight, the winds aren't going to be as strong. It's just the temperatures are going to be lower tonight, and that's why the possibility of seeing that 40 below as we go throughout the night is definitely there. By the time you wake up, you're looking generally about 35 to 40 below in most locations. Once again, the temperature is going to be probably the coldest. And the good news is by the time we get up to about noon, you're going to start seeing these rapidly rise back up, because the wind won't be much of a factor. It'll just be the temperature too. By the time we get to 5 p.m. tomorrow, we're looking generally maybe 10 to 15 below. I think more areas might be in just the single digits, as our temperatures should be above 0 by this point. And notice the wind direction too. It's out of the south-southwest, so it's going to start picking up a little bit towards tomorrow afternoon, because we do have a warm front coming. So that's the good news going into Wednesday. Here's your high temperatures. These will be really late in the day, probably towards sunset. Areas to the south getting above 0, up to the north getting around -2, -1, but those temperatures will continue to rise going into Wednesday morning because of that warm front. Cloud cover will start increasing in the afternoon. Here comes that precipitation, but it's going to take some time for that to get here. I don't know if it'll be here probably after the evening commute. A lot of this may struggle to reach the ground given how dry we are, but I think we will see a little bit of light snow developing sometime after the evening commute to maybe around midnight as this warm front lifts north. Notice the winds. The temperatures at this point will continue to rise, so by the time you wake up Wednesday morning, we're going to be in the teens potentially above 0. And this is the one line coming here with the warm front. So the morning commute might see a little bit of snow for Wednesday morning. We might see a break, and then we have the cold front come through in the afternoon, and there's a little bit of shower activity that could develop towards the evening commute or just after or before. That'll swing through and be out of the picture by about 6 or 7 p.m. for Wednesday as that whole system. So there's an opportunity for a little bit of light snow. Some areas probably will pick up less than an inch. Areas to the north, there could be a spotty 1 to 2. They'll come kind of in 2 waves, up maybe 1 late Tuesday night and then some more Wednesday afternoon. So that will help get our temperatures up. As you look at the 8-day forecast, notice those temperatures continue to rise. We're back up to about 23 on Friday after a slight dip Thursday because of a cold front, but that slight dip is back into the teens instead of 20s. And then for the weekend, we're going to kind of come back up again with maybe another system coming through Saturday into Sunday. Minor drops with temperatures, but all in all, we're going to be back more into the 20s to near 30 for the extended, and no more sub-zero temperatures, at least not for daytime highs.
Sounds good.
That sounds
Like
fantastic. We're sold.
Okay.
Yep. Thank you, Greg. Coming up next in sports, new man in charge. A divisional foe reportedly has their new head coach. Plus, after another week without a loss, the Badgers continue to climb the rankings. Jacob's got how many spots Wisconsin jumped this time next.
Is it time for new windows or doors? Contact the company who has done the research for you. The best windows and doors installed by the best people. Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions.
Hey, want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Guys, what are the chances you can fix this?
It shouldn't be too difficult.
So like 1 in 100?
Fellas, I can fix this.
Like 1 in a million?
I can do it.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Yes.
G
and
T.
Yeah.
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 Welcome to the most honest commercial you'll ever see.
And as you can see, me and you are both having trouble starting to talk.
Yep.
I mean, this is something that you're breathing in every day.
Yeah.
Like 50% of the air in the house
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
is coming from down here.
Yes, sir.
How's your crawl space looking? She's saying we're going to be here a while.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's get busy.
Get a free and honest inspection with Innovative Basement Authority, a Groundworks company.
T-Mobile is very reliable.
It's always nice to know that T-Mobile has us covered.
I love the fact that my family and I, we can stay connected just about anywhere we want to go.
My network is my lifeline.
T-Mobile keeps you connected on America's largest and fastest 5G network. Right now, switch and keep your phone. We'll pay it off up to $800. See how you can save on every plan versus Verizon and AT&T at T-Mobile.com/keep-and-switch.
Covering all the exciting action from your community. Here's News 8 Now Sports with Jacob Lenzendorf.
Well, back on Saturday, a couple 42-point halves helped the Badgers get past USC to improve to 5-2 in conference play and cap off a 2-0 week. With the unbeaten week, Wisconsin moved up from number 24 to number 18 in the latest men's AP poll. Despite Wisconsin's top scorer, John Tonje, not logging a single point, UW was still able to hit 84 points behind 28 from John Blackwell and 18 from Max Klesmit. The Badgers continue their trip out west with a matchup with 12-6 UCLA tomorrow at 8:30. All right, Timberwolves taking on the Grizzlies earlier this afternoon. Late first quarter, it's Anthony Edwards doing Anthony Edwards things. Step back is pure. Then the always exciting Ja Morant with a sweet feed to Brandon Clark, who gets the and one. Minnesota was in control for much of this one, but Memphis would make a comeback. But here the rookie Rob Dillingham extends the visitors' lead. But down the stretch, Memphis would convert. Jaren Jackson with 2 of his 24. And then with time winding down, it's Edwards for the win from 3, and it's no good. The Grizzlies would get the win. Let's go to the ice. 2 of the top 4 teams in the West facing off in the NHL. First period off the feed, Jake Middleton sends in a wrister to get the first goal of the afternoon. Then tied at 1 entering the final period. Fantastic stick work by David Jiricek to Yakov Trenyen, who lights the lamp to give the Wild the lead. And then moments later, the dagger as Brock Faber lets one rip from in front of the net. Wild would beat the Avalanche 3-2-1. After interviewing 15 people, the Bears have their new head coach, and it's former Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson. Now, Johnson was highly sought after due to his unit averaging 31 points and 521 yards per game this past season. The news, of course, coming 2 days after Detroit was knocked out of the playoffs by the Washington Commanders. And tonight is the night. It's the culmination of the college football season. Ohio State and Notre Dame doing battle in just a matter of minutes here in the national championship. The Buckeyes have taken down Tennessee, Oregon, and Texas to get here, while the Fighting Irish have beaten Indiana, Georgia, and Penn State. Now OSU leads the all-time series 6-2. Notre Dame's last win coming all the way back in 1936, guys. So it's been a while since
89
since they've
years.
That's a long time.
That's
Good-
a long
good math.
time.
What are we thinking?
I'm going for Notre Dame.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Ohio State by like 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, I think so as well. Which I did pick Ohio State earlier.
You did.
I wouldn't love to see it as a Badger
Yeah,
supporter, but I mean, they're a great team.
I picked Notre Dame,
You
and
did.
I told Jacob I thought it'd be awesome if I could have a true Rudy moment if we win and hoist me on y'all's shoulders.
I don't know
Go
about that.
yay.
We haven't committed to anything.
No,
No,
we have
you
not.
haven't.
You're going to have to check back in 10 if they win. So if they win, come back and see, right?
Oh, gosh,
Yeah, I guess
right.
so.
Thanks, Jacob.
Okay,
Thanks,
Greg has one final look at your forecast right after this.
Keeping you safe and ahead of the storm. The First Warn Weather Storm Runner. Only from News 8 Now. Expect more.
Chart your career with a fabricator position at Chart Industries. Starting wage up to $30 per hour with no experience necessary. Excellent pay and awesome benefits. Apply now at jobs.chartindustries.com.
Stay warm and cozy this winter with La Crosse Fireplace Company and receive a 30% federal tax credit. Wood stoves with a modern style like Quadra-Fire or the classic look from Vermont Castings, La Crosse Fireplace Company has the stove to fit your style and need. Purchase and receive a 30% federal tax credit on the entire package and installation. La Crosse Fireplace Company, because your place is by the fire.
We see you out there, giving your whole heart to what you do. That doesn't mean you have to give your whole wallet, too. It's why we make sure that as you find your way, you can find value along the way. Like Blaine's Wild Bird Food. Rewards members get 2 for $12. Get a free scratch block when you buy 2 of these AgriMaster feeds. And heated pet products are 20% off.
That's what I'm talking about.
Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Being original.
Chart your career with a fabricator position at Chart Industries. Starting wage up to $30 per hour with no experience necessary. Excellent pay and awesome benefits. Apply now at jobs.chartindustries.com.
All right, one more brutal night and morning with wind chills potentially as low as 35, 40 below. Now that the good news is this is probably the last we're going to see of it, at least in the next 8 days, because we do have a little light snow coming Wednesday. In fact, you wake up Wednesday morning, it'll be probably in the teens above 0, and then the rest of the forecast is a little bit up and down, but not the negative, really.
Exactly. Hey, above 0,
We'll
we're
take
happy.
it.
That's
We're
right.
happy, the happiest.
Thanks for joining us at 6.
We'll see you at 10.